Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, my favorite anti-human trafficking group is in the studio right now. New Friends, New Life, two of the driving forces behind a men's breakfast that is coming up very quickly. You'll hear their journey next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. Well, I think by now, thanks to all the publicity, most people know that human trafficking is not something that happens in some third world nation. It's happening right here in our backyard. And some people who were talking about this before it was even on anybody's radar screen are in the studio right now. Bianca Davis, she's the CEO of New Friends, New Life, and Bill Wallace, he's the Honorary Chair. Thank you for coming on the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Take us back to the very early days, Bianca. The organization's 27 years old. That's amazing.
Yes. So 27 years ago, there was an exotic dancer who walked into a local church, Preston Road Church of Christ, and just said, "Can you please help me? I can't do this anymore." And this was before we even had sex trafficking as a part of our social conversation. This was before it became a federal crime, because human trafficking didn't become a federal crime until the year 2000. So well before that, New Friends, New Life was birthed from this one interaction with a woman who wanted a way out. And they started surrounding her with the financial, emotional, spiritual support that she needed. And here we are today now serving about 350 women and girls a year.
And I think you're doing something that I've not seen done before. You're really attacking the supply and demand problem by speaking to men. So, Bill, why don't you talk about this?
Well, the Men's Mankindness Breakfast is an annual event that brings together 150 to 200 men and women. And the purpose, it's put on by the Men's Advocacy Group, the MAG group. And the MAG has a board. And these men come together and help to put this on every year. And the real purpose is taking a look back at where does trafficking get its support. Trafficking gets its support in our backyard. Trafficking gets its support off the porn, off the internet, off the soft porn, off of a little interaction, off of an evening at a strip club, or a walk down Harry Hines, or a walk down Mockingbird Lane in the center of Dallas.
Wow. One of the things you do is bus tours. Bianca, talk about that.
Yes, we offer a community bus tour once a month where we allow people to journey with us as we go through parts of the city, and we talk about adjudicated cases where trafficking busts have happened. And people are so surprised because, as Bill mentioned, they expect to go maybe to Harry Hines or some seedier part of town. But when we head up north or we go into their neighborhoods, they're like, wait, I live here, or I go to church near here, or my children go to school near here. So it's a way to visually show that trafficking is literally happening any and everywhere in our community.
We're going to show the website and the page off the website where people can still get tickets for this. You can sell tables. And so talk about the need and why you guys really need everybody's support.
You know, the Mankindness Breakfast is so critical because, sadly, it's men who drive the demand for this issue. Thankfully, at New Friends, New Life, we have men like Bill Wallace, who is on our Men's Advocacy Group board, and other men who are part of MAG who are choosing to take a stand, because we really believe that if our good guys knew what was behind this woman who was in a strip club or on a corner or behind the camera, if they knew that behind that is someone who is being trafficked by force, fraud, or coercion, being forced to do something she does not want to do, we believe that our men would make a different choice. So this is an opportunity to learn, to connect the dots, to network with other men of like minds, and really put an end to this issue.
Sure. And this year we're going to be honoring Chris Kleiner, a good friend who's really spearheaded this for a long time. Do you want to speak to that?
Well, Chris Kleiner is the reason I'm involved with the Men's Advocacy Group. Chris is Ray Hunt's son-in-law and is the CEO of the Hunt investment side of the Hunt Group. And he and the Hunt Group have come behind this so forcibly and have reached out in the community and have brought men in, have used their influence. Yes, their influence. They've used it to help spearhead and create this. And now we have 11 years of constant activity by a group of men because of Chris Kleinhardt, which is a beautiful thing. And, you mentioned, you asked me earlier, what one thing do I remember the most about this? And it's the bus tour. The first time I went on a bus tour, I was shocked. We stopped here. Wait a minute. That's a mile from where I work. We stopped here. Oh, that's 3 miles from my home. We stopped here. That's our backyard. It was shocking and eye-opening in a way that, I'm native Dallas. I grew up here. I've watched all of this. And I couldn't believe it when I went on the bus tour because I, like so many others, thought, oh, it's over on Harry Hines or it's in a seedy area of town. Mm-hmm. No, it's not. It is in our backyards. There was a movie called 8 Days that was literally produced here. And it was a story of a girl, a teenager, that was sold on her way to a party by her boyfriend in a very nice neighborhood, a very nice school. And in 8 days, she serviced 53 men until somebody dropped their cell phone. That happened not too far from where we're holding this breakfast.
Wow, it's just horrifying. More in a minute. I want to show a little video that you guys created for Chris. Let's go ahead and roll that.
New Friends, New Life is proud to recognize founding Men's Advocacy Group board member Chris Kleinert with the inaugural Man of the Year Award. Congratulations, Chris. Thank you for taking a stand for her.
Wow, I love it. So much credibility. They're not going to want to miss your keynote speaker. And so, Bianca, go ahead and hold that up. And why don't you describe the author of this book?
Yes, we're really excited to hear from Lila Micklethwait. She's an author and an attorney who is really in a fight to take down Pornhub. And so she wrote this book called To Take Down that talks about this journey, really stemming from the need or the recognition that the illegal activity of sex trafficking is happening behind the guise of the camera. And it's important for us. If we saw any other crime taking place, we would speak up about it and people would work to end it, to hold the perpetrators accountable. But for some reason, with something like online pornography, everything's legalized and in the open and no one's being held accountable for allowing criminal behavior to take place. And so for her to take a stand, it also helps us to connect the dots because online pornography is one of the key drivers that's fueling the trade. So being able to hear about her courageous work, the amount of corporate support that she's gotten. There's a petition that she has that has about 2 million signatures. So we will have our men with a call to action to sign the petition to really address the demand side of this issue. Sure. Sex trafficking is the second largest and fastest growing criminal industry in the world behind the drug trade. So it's big business, and we need to address it like we would any other business.
So on your homepage, you have a little video that gives you a preview of what you can expect from Lila. Let's go ahead and roll that.
This might be the biggest scandal you haven't heard about.
The largest porn website,
attracting 130 million users a day, more than Netflix or Amazon.
Pornhub is under investigation.
This was a company that did whatever it wanted until one woman and a laptop exposed the truth.
She is the founder of the Justice Defense Fund.
One of the pioneers in anti-trafficking.
Lila Mickleway.
Thank you for having me. I was reading the story of a missing 15-year-old girl who was found when somebody tipped off her mother that she was in 58 videos on Pornhub being raped and abused. The Sunday Times did an investigation. They found dozens of illegal videos, even children as young as 3 years old. How was this happening? I decided to test this upload system. In under 10 minutes, with only an email address, I was able to upload content that went live on the site. They weren't asking for an ID. They weren't asking for a consent form to make sure that this wasn't a rape or trafficking victim. The site became infested with videos of real sexual crime. I have to sound the alarm on this. I was posting on Twitter, started a petition. We're just about to hit 1 million.
2 million signatures.
Hundreds of organizations participating. Media started to pay attention.
In your article, you write, with Pornhub, we have Jeffrey Epstein times 1,000.
This isn't about porn. This is about rape and sexual abuse of children.
The 12-year-old boy, he was drugged, overpowered, and raped in 23 videos being sold on Pornhub.
Victims were speaking out left and right.
This is going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
Whistleblowers were saying this is true.
Pornhub put profits over people.
Even the former owner of Pornhub reached out saying he wanted to help. Dozens of lawsuits were filed. We went after Visa and MasterCard to cut ties, but they were still resistant. Pornhub started attacking myself, victims. They don't want to stop because they're making a lot of money. And they fight dirty. Pornhub was so scared, they deleted 80% of their site. 10 million videos gone. Victims, they were so happy and relieved because for the first time in years, their rape videos were off of Pornhub. But the fight's not over. They are going to answer for what they've done.
Wow, so compelling. We're going to show the book cover full screen because if people attend the breakfast, they'll also get an autographed copy.
Yeah, some of our top sponsors will be getting autographed copies of the book.
Nice.
And the ability to purchase. Anyone will have the ability to purchase that day.
Outstanding.
And, you know, this also is a great opportunity for some of you men that are seeing this to come and get involved with the men's advocacy group. You'll find it. What we are doing is unbelievable, but what we have yet to do, we need you.
Amen. Okay, we're going to give you the final word. Bianca, what would you like to leave people with?
I would like to leave people with the fact that we know the stats. We know that Texas ranks second in the nation for human trafficking. We know that there are 300,000 victims in our state. It's a really big problem, but I want people to know that it's everyday steps that makes the difference, that we can turn this around. There are women and girls and men and boys who have had their lives restored. They're on to the great things that they had in their minds. And it's because of moments like this where you choose to take a stand. And I can't thank Bill Wallace enough for lending his voice and all of his years of service and his big heart to this cause. We're really making a difference here in Dallas.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your testimony with us. We're going to put that webpage up again so you can book your table now, newfriendsnewlife.org/breakfast. Guys, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.